Hey folks, guess what? I did a thing last night. You know what I did? I faced another fear, conquered another fear. But this one is a fear that leads to me chasing my dreams. You know what I did? Some of you know, some of you don't. But I did an open mic last night at the comedy club. My first time ever being on stage with a microphone and an interrogation style light in my fucking face and a bunch of strangers in the room glaring at me, wanting me to entertain them. So, those of you who have not been to an open mic is basically a place for rookie, or people who are practicing new material, comics who've been doing it for a while, and they want to go there to open mic and like use it to see how it works, and or people who haven't done it ever before. Somebody told them that, hey, you're funny, you should go to open mic, and they listened, and they show up, and some of those people should not show up, but people do it because it's fun. So guess what? I did that last night. I chased a fear. I conquered a fear. Not conquered a fear, but probably still be afraid next time. But I faced it. At least I faced it. I know what it feels like. Because one thing is, those of you who don't know about me or know this, one of the things I always wanted to be growing up was a comedian. Always loved entertaining people. I was always the class clown. I was always the one, in conversation. Still am, trying to make people laugh, to make it light out of stuff. But the only problem with that was I was also the same kid who hated standing in front of class, who hated having to do a project where I had to stand in front of class and talk to motherfuckers, who hated when the teacher was like, oh, who wants to come up here and explain what they read? You, come on up here. I was not that kid. I would rather take an F in my class. I'd rather take detention. I'd rather risk getting my ass whooped at home before I got up in front of the class and started speaking. It was probably had to do with the confidence, lack of confidence. So, which was very ironic that what I wanted to do was be a comedian, entertain people. So, anyways, friend of mine, good friend of mine I play hockey with, opened up a comedy club in Escondido. Grand comedy club right there. It's been open for 2 weeks now. It's had 4 shows. And last night was its very first open mic. So I said to myself, I'm going to go. Actually, the decision was almost kind of, semi-made for me, but it was like, yo, open mic starts tomorrow. Game, right? I was like, yeah, answered real quick. And then I realized, the fuck did I just do? I just answered this. And immediately after that, I got the nervous shits. Now, some of you know what this is, some of you don't, but you just get so nervous about just something, whether it be a wedding or a sport, like before a game, and you just like, all of a sudden, get to churning. And I was like, went right to the bathroom. I even texted back, I was like, bro, like I literally took a shit out of nervousness right after I read your text. Anyways, I go last night. You can get there. 6:30 is the call time. Get there, put your name on the list, and then 7 o'clock is when they come up. MC is like, okay, folks, welcome to our very first open mic. So that was exciting, being there for the very fucking first one in the history of the comedy club. So, and I'm listening, right? People are going up there. There's a good mix of people. There's, like I said, there's a mix of people who are seasoned comics who've been doing it for a few years. They've been going to open mics, having some little shows here and there. So they go to open mics to practice their material. And then there's people like myself. Like, I think I was one of the only first timers there last night. I think. I could be wrong, but you get people like that. People like me who's like first timers, second timers, third timers, fourth timers. People were just like friend said, hey, you're funny, go check it out. I'm like, all right, I'll go see what the fuck this is about. So I'm listening, right? You get a couple comics up there. And I got to this point where I was like, you know what? I told my buddy, he's the guy that I used to work with. He does comedy too, but he's been doing it for a while. And I was like doing this thing. I shot him in the elbow. I was like, bro, like, my shit's churning. And it wasn't to take shit. It was just out of nervousness. I started getting scared. I almost fucking, in my head for a split second, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go up there. Not up there on stage, but I'm going to go back there and just be like, bro, I need to take my name off the list. Like, I'm not ready for this shit. I'm not doing it. I just, like, for 1 second, it was like, I can't do this. This is not my thing. And then, like, I sat there and I was thinking about it, and they're getting, like, closer and closer to your name. Like, they kind of pick out of a thing, a little bucket, like, kind of a raffle style. But I talked to my buddy. He was like, where do you want to go? I was like, kind of in the middle or something like that, just somewhere like middle in whatever, like, so I could like see some people and like kind of see what it looks like, how it goes, how it runs. So I kind of knew what area I was going. So as it started getting down and closer and closer and closer to my name, I was like, I don't know about this. I don't know if I could do this. Maybe this isn't really what I want to do. Maybe this isn't a dream that I really want to chase. Like, all that shit went through my head in a matter of that. And all of a sudden I reverted back to school, and I was like, when that teacher called me up, the teacher was like, hey, Andres, or, Jay, come on up here and explain this. And I was like, nope. Like, I made up some excuse, like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom, or I'm not feeling well, or just something to get out of it at that moment. That kicked in my head, and I was like, and then I thought about something. I was like, you know what? I was like, how am I gonna teach my kid to chase his dreams? How am I gonna teach my kid to face his fears if I can't do that shit myself? Like, that popped in my head. I was like, I can't be a hypocrite in that sense to my son. And I was like, this is something I always wanted to do, and I've been talking about chasing fears. Facing fears and chasing dreams. I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to stick this out. So I did. Had a sip of my beer. And then they get to a point where they call the next name that's going up on stage. And then they call the person that's going to be on deck to go after that person. So they get up there. It's like, okay, so-and-so go up there, and next on deck, Jay. My butthole puckered up. I was like, and that's what it settled in. I was like, fuck, I got 5 minutes before I go up. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I hope this guy takes forever. I hope he just goes to the whole night and the fucking lights shut off, electricity goes out, and like we don't finish up tonight, and I just kind of skip my turn. Like, it felt like an eternity waiting for him to get done. And then there's a red light that pops on, like, in the back of the room. So when you're on the stage, you can see it. It's like, okay, it's a light that basically comes on and lets you know you have a minute left. I was looking at it. And I was like, oh, fuck. It came on. So I knew we had a minute, which means I had about a minute and 30 seconds to 2 minutes. And I was just like, what am I going to say? 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 So I talked about stuff, and I wrote stuff down. I even took my notepad, and I got so nervous, I couldn't even write what the fuck I was going to say on my notepad. So it remains how it was here today. And I get going, and guy's like, okay, my time's done. Cool, thanks, guys. Whatever, gave his, and he was, and I think this person had actually done comedy before, and I'm like, oh, this is great. This is what I get to follow. And the MC, they always give like great introductions, like, oh, coming up on the mic, this person, they're very funny. Like, everybody gets introduced as like very funny, so you kind of get hyped up, unless you're me. I was just like, fuck, very funny, Jay, huh? I walked up. I kind of whispered to him before I got on stage. I was like, thanks, bro, but I'm not funny at all. Fuck. Like, I whispered that to him, like, really quick. Like, I know he got it. And I was just like, I hop on onto stage. Walked up. grab the mic, put it right to my chest. This is how I stood. Immediately, my first fucking thing I said was something along the lines of, God damn, feel like I'm being interrogated by the fucking police right now. Because when you get up there on that stage, they got these lights that are just like, bam, like shining on you like a DUI checkpoint. So I started with something along those lines. Yeah, got a chuckle. I was like, okay, cool. I wasn't even planning on saying that until like I saw those lights up there, and I was like, oh, fuck it. That's what that looks like. So then I'm like sitting there and I'm doing my thing. I'm like talking, like I know in my head, like there's some shit that I was going to say. I just, like I had talked about it, and like I actually wrote shit down on my right here and there. But when I got up there, it was like gone. It was like a black baby daddy, just out. And like I started talking, like I'm doing my spiel, and then like I knew the mic was too low, but my fucking arm was like tensed as fuck, and I just couldn't raise it up to my mouth. So I was like walking around like this. And when I turned, I didn't even take the mic with me. I was like, yeah, so and like the mic like lagged behind me. All I had to do was just, talk like that. But you know what? This was comfortable. I don't know how it sounded. Then I got a little nervous and like I forgot shit. But I was still like kind of told stuff and still managed to get a few laughs, which I was fucking thankful for, which I hear is actually on your first time up there is really hard to do. So that's a good confidence booster for those of you who reached out and was like, yo, you got a couple laughs, like that's hard. So that builds confidence in me and also lets me know that, well, even though I fucked up, I can still make people laugh. So, okay, so that means I'm onto something. So I just start rambling and I get to a couple jokes, get a couple laughs here, a couple cheese there, and then like my voice is all cracky. I feel like I'm going through puberty and shit. Like the voice just like, not like whining up and down, but just like a zombie or some shit. And I got through. I probably stopped a lot sooner than I would have had I like not had that brain fog that like literally junk punched me right before I went on stage. But I got through it. I'm glad that I stuck it out. I'm glad that I went up there, did what I had to do. I'm glad that, I faced that and I conquered that first fucking time. Like now I know in my head that I can't do worse than that. I mean, I could go up there at some point, like once I get comfortable and like spit some jokes out that people necessarily don't react to or don't get laughs, but at least I'll feel more comfortable on the stage. So that's my plan, is to keep going. A lot of people have been asking me, when's the next time I'm going to do it? You want to go? You want to check it out? If you're busy on a Sunday night and you want to go see a bunch of people, just some good comics, some half-ass comics, and some beginner comics, yeah, come on out there, because I plan on going all the time as much as I can, getting as many open mics as I can, so that way I can get that stage confidence, so I could talk to those people, those live motherfuckers, the same way I could talk to you guys or people in a conversation even, and just get that stage confidence to just go up there and just be like, okay, I'm here, I'm doing my thing, lean up there, do what I gotta do, make the shit comfortable, and just, chase the dream. Anyways, thank you guys. I hope I answered all the questions that I've been getting. I've been getting a ton of DMs, so I appreciate you guys reaching out. And yeah, good night.